The truly powerful don't connect with everyone. They engage only with those who understand the game. And right now, you're on the outside looking in, wondering why doors stay sealed, why opportunities continually pass you by. You watch as men with half your talent occupy boardrooms you will never enter. This is not a matter of luck. It is not a test of raw talent. It is about understanding the laws that govern the circles of influence, the unspoken rules that separate the forgettable from the unforgettable. Niccolò Machiavelli codified this reality 5 centuries ago, and the elite still live by his principles today. They just don't teach them in schools or discuss them in polite company. These laws are the inheritance of bloodlines, whispered in the hushed confines of private clubs and practiced in boardrooms you have never seen. Until now. What you are about to learn will fundamentally change how you perceive every interaction, every handshake, every conversation. 13 laws, 13 keys to becoming untouchable. Listen carefully. Your transformation begins now. What burden are they carrying that I can lighten? What gap exists in their world that my skills can fill? This isn't about becoming a servant, it's about being a strategist. When you lead with value, you bypass their defenses entirely. You enter through a private door that remains locked to everyone else. The desperate beg for attention, the strategic engineer reasons to be noticed. Study them long before you ever speak to them. Understand their business, know their challenges, and identify precisely where you fit. Then, position yourself as the answer they didn't even know they were looking for. This is how empires are built. Not by asking, but by offering. Not by taking, but by giving with surgical precision. The powerful remember those who made their lives easier and swiftly forget those who complicated it. Be the solution, never the problem. Usefulness is the primary currency in the economy of power. Spend it wisely, invest it strategically, and watch doors swing open that you never knew existed. Second law. Never reveal your full hand. The moment they know everything about you, your power evaporates. Mystery is a weapon. Silence is a shield. The second law is simple yet brutal. Never reveal your full hand. Most men are careless with their words. They share their plans, their dreams, their strategies, and their weaknesses without being prompted, foolishly mistaking transparency for connection. They believe vulnerability builds trust. In the world of power, this is strategic suicide. When you reveal everything, you become predictable. And a predictable man is a controllable man. The powerful always hold something back. They allow you to see only what they want you to see, and nothing more. You may think you know them, but you only know the version of themselves they have meticulously constructed for your benefit. This is not deception, it is protection. Every piece of information you volunteer is a potential tool that can be used against you. Your ambitions can be thwarted, your weaknesses exploited, your plans stolen. Therefore, guard your intentions like a fortress. Speak in generalities when others probe for specifics. Offer a smile when they expect an answer. Redirect the conversation when they push too hard. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them fill in the blanks with their own assumptions. A man who cannot be fully understood cannot be fully controlled. This is the power of the unknown. When you keep parts of yourself concealed, you create an aura of intrigue. People are instinctively drawn to what they cannot fully grasp and respect what they cannot easily define. The loudest man in the room is rarely the most powerful. The most powerful man is the one watching, listening, and calculating, revealing nothing while learning everything. Master this law, and you become unreadable. Unreadable men are dangerous. And dangerous men are respected. Hold your cards close. Let your silence speak volumes they will never decode. Third law, enter through the side door. The front door is a fortress. It is obvious, crowded, and designed for rejection. Everyone rushes toward it, and almost everyone is turned away. This is by design. The powerful insulate their inner circles with layers of gatekeepers, assistants, and barriers built to keep the ordinary out. If you approach like everyone else, you will be treated like everyone else, dismissed, ignored, and forgotten. The third law demands you think differently. Enter through the side door. The side door is the path the masses overlook. It is the assistant who schedules the meetings, the trusted business partner, the old friend from their past, the charitable cause they champion, the private events they attend when the cameras are off. These are the unguarded entry points. This is where true access lies. You must study the architecture of their world. Map out their network and identify the people they trust who are not as heavily protected as they are. Build genuine relationships with those people first. Become a known entity in their peripheral circles. Let your reputation travel inward long before you ever make direct contact. This is patience weaponized. The desperate man charges the main gate and is baffled by his failure. The strategic man befriends the gatekeeper's assistant. He becomes familiar before he becomes present. His name is mentioned in conversations before he ever steps into the room. When you finally stand before the powerful, you are no longer a stranger. You are a name they have heard, a presence already validated by those they trust. This is how you bypass the walls, not through force, but through finesse. Not by begging, but by positioning. The front door is a trap for the impatient. The side door is a passage for the wise. Find it, use it, and never reveal how you got in. Fourth law, mirror their world, not your own. You live in your world. They live in theirs. These two worlds are not the same. The fourth law is about radical adaptation. Mirror their world, not your own. Most men make the fatal mistake of expecting the powerful to relate to them. They talk about their struggles, their background, and their perspective as if the influential should care. They don't. The powerful care about their own reality, their concerns, their language, their values. If you wish to connect with them, you must step into their frame of reference. You must learn to see the world as they see it and reflect that understanding back to them. This is not about losing yourself. It is about strategic empathy. Study how they speak. Note the specific words they use, the topics they gravitate toward, the things that make them lean in. Observe their body language, their sense of humor, their conversational pace. Then, subtly calibrate yourself to match. When you mirror someone, you create an unconscious bond. They feel understood without knowing precisely why. They feel at ease in your presence because you remind them of what they trust most, themselves. This is a subtle form of dark psychology in its purest form. People are drawn to reflections of their own identity. The powerful are no different. They surround themselves with those who validate their worldview. Become that validation. Speak their language fluently. Reference their interests naturally. Align your energy with theirs. But execute this with subtlety. Obvious mirroring is manipulation detected. Skilled mirroring is connection created. You are not pretending to be someone else. You are demonstrating that you belong in their world, that you understand its unspoken rules, and that you are not an outsider fumbling in unfamiliar territory. Adaptability is a form of intelligence. Rigidity is death. The man who refuses to adjust will never ascend. Bend without breaking. Mirror without losing yourself. Fifth law. Master the art of selective availability. The more available you are, the less valuable you become. This is a fundamental principle of human nature. We chase what retreats and dismiss what lingers. The fifth law is counterintuitive but essential. Master the art of selective availability. Most men believe that constant presence builds connection. They respond to messages instantly, show up to every event, and make themselves endlessly accessible, thinking this proves their loyalty and dedication. In reality, it signals desperation. It communicates that you have nothing else going on, no other demands, no other priorities, no other sources of value. The powerful recognize this immediately and categorize you accordingly: forgettable, replaceable, low status. Scarcity creates value. This is a law of economics, psychology, and power. When you are selectively available, you communicate that your time has worth, that your presence is not guaranteed, and that access to you must be earned, not assumed. This doesn't mean being rude or unreliable. It means being strategic about when and how you appear. Decline some invitations. Delay some responses. Create intentional space between your interactions. Let them wonder where you are. Let them feel your absence. When you do reappear, your presence carries more weight. They will appreciate what they cannot take for granted. They will value what is not always within their reach. This is how you shift the dynamic. Instead of chasing their attention, you make them notice yours. Instead of hoping for their time, they begin to seek out yours. The power balance tilts in your direction without a single word being spoken. This, however, requires immense discipline. You must resist the primal urge to always be present. You must tolerate the discomfort of distance and trust that your calculated absence speaks louder than constant availability ever could. Be present enough to matter, but absent enough to be missed. This is the mastered rhythm of influence. Sixth law: speak less than necessary. Words are weapons, and most men fire them recklessly. They speak to fill the silence, talk to prove their intelligence, and overshare to feel important. In doing so, they surrender all their power. The sixth law is ancient and unforgiving: speak less than necessary. Every word you utter is a revelation, a clue to your thoughts, a piece of ammunition that can be turned against you. The more you speak, the more you risk exposing your fears, your insecurities, and your true intentions. The powerful understand this intimately. Watch them in rooms full of noise. They listen. They observe. They measure every syllable before it leaves their lips. When they finally do speak, the room falls silent because rare words carry weight. Frequent words become background noise. Silence itself is intimidating. It creates pressure without exertion. When you speak less, others rush to fill the void, revealing themselves while you remain an enigma. They grow uncomfortable while you remain composed. They wonder what you're thinking while you learn exactly who they are. This is control without confrontation, influence without force. You do not need to dominate conversations to dominate a room. The man who talks the most is rarely the one in charge. He is performing. He is seeking validation. He is bleeding power with every unnecessary sentence. You must become comfortable with silence. Let pauses stretch. Let questions hang in the air. Let others squirm while you remain perfectly still. When you do speak, be precise and deliberate. Say only what must be said and nothing more. The bond forged through mutual opposition is often stronger than one formed through mutual interest. Shared pleasure is fleeting and easily forgotten. Shared struggle is seared into memory. But you must be calculated. Never create enemies you cannot afford to have. Never align against forces that could destroy you. Choose your oppositions wisely. Ensure the enemy you highlight is real, significant, and genuinely matters to them. Above all, never appear to be using this tactic transparently. The powerful respect those who authentically share their battles. They despise those who feign alignment for personal gain. Be authentic in your opposition. Let the alliance form naturally around a shared conviction. When you stand with power against a common threat, you are no longer outside the circle. You are inside the fortress, shoulder to shoulder. Eighth law: never outshine the master. Ego is the silent killer of alliances. You may be smarter. You may be more capable. You may see solutions they miss and paths they cannot imagine. But the moment you make a superior feel inferior, you become their enemy. The eighth law is a principle of survival: never outshine the master. The powerful did not reach their position by tolerating those who threaten their sense of status. Their very identity is often built on being exceptional. Their self-worth is tied to being above others. When you display superiority, even unintentionally, you attack the very foundation of who they are. They will destroy you for it. This is not about dimming your own light. It is about strategic positioning. You must make your talents serve their glory, not overshadow it. Let them take credit for your ideas. Let them feel like the source of your brilliance. Ensure your contributions elevate them rather than expose their shortcomings. The wise advisor whispers an idea that the king later announces as his own. The trusted lieutenant executes a strategy that the general claims as his grand vision. This is how power actually works behind closed doors. Your ego will rebel against this. It will scream for recognition and demand that your brilliance be acknowledged. You must silence it. Recognition can come later, once your position is secure, once your value is undeniable, once removing you would cost them more than keeping you. Until then, play the long game. Be excellent in ways that make them look better. Solve problems quietly. Offer insights that they can present as their own conclusions. The moment they feel threatened by your shine, your access is terminated. They will find reasons to remove you. They will rewrite history to diminish your contributions. Protect yourself by protecting their ego. This is not weakness, it is profound wisdom. Outshine the master, and you will lose everything. Ninth law, make others come to you. The one who chases holds no power. The one who is chased holds all of it. This is a fundamental truth of human dynamics. Pursuit signals weakness, attraction signals strength. The ninth law reshapes how you move through the world, make others come to you. When you chase powerful people, you immediately confirm your lower status. You signal that they possess something you need, placing yourself beneath them before a single word is exchanged. From that subordinate position, you will never be seen as an equal. You will always be the one reaching upward, grasping and hoping. The strategic individual reverses this dynamic entirely. He builds something worthy of notice. He creates results that speak far louder than any introduction. He develops a reputation that travels into rooms long before he ever enters them. Then he waits, not passively, not lazily, but with the focused patience of a hunter who has laid the perfect trap. When you become known for excellence, the powerful grow curious. When you solve problems that are visible to them, they want to know how. When your name is mentioned with respect by people they trust, they will seek you out. This is attraction through sheer achievement. You are no longer knocking on doors. Doors are opening for you and invitations are being extended. This requires unwavering faith in your own value. You must believe that what you offer is worth pursuing. You must resist the desperation that drives lesser men to chase, beg, and lower themselves. Build your fortress of skill. Stack your accomplishments. Let your work echo through the networks where power resides. The magnetic man does not need to announce his presence is felt. He does not ask for attention finds him. This is the ultimate position of strength. When they come to you, the negotiation begins on your terms, not theirs. 10th law, guard your reputation with your life. You can lose money and recover it. You can lose an opportunity and find a new one. But once your reputation is destroyed, everything crumbles. Do not ignore rumors or assume the truth will protect you. In the game of power, truth is irrelevant if a negative perception has already been established. Repair damage immediately. Correct false narratives before they can spread. Distance yourself from anyone whose reputation could contaminate yours. Associate only with those who elevate how you are seen. Your reputation is a currency more valuable than money. It opens doors that wealth cannot unlock and builds a level of trust that would otherwise take years to establish through actions alone. It precedes you like an advanced army, preparing the battlefield in your favor. Protect it ruthlessly. Cultivate it intentionally. Let no one tarnish what you have built, because in the circles of power, your name is everything. Lose it, and you lose access forever. 11th law. Learn to use enemies. Most men see enemies as problems to be eliminated. They waste precious energy on hatred, burn resources on revenge, and let opposition consume them until nothing productive remains. The 11th law transforms your perspective entirely. Learn to use your enemies. Enemies are assets hiding in plain sight. They reveal your weaknesses by relentlessly attacking them. They expose blind spots you never knew existed. They keep you sharp and vigilant when comfort would have made you dull. Without opposition, you grow lazy. Without a threat, you become careless. Your enemies, whether they know it or not, are your most demanding trainers. But beyond personal growth, enemies can be leveraged strategically. A former enemy converted into a loyal ally sends a powerful message. It shows you are capable of transcending conflict. It demonstrates that you value utility over raw emotion. The powerful are always watching how you handle opposition. If you react with blind rage, you appear weak. If you hold grudges forever, you appear small-minded. But if you can convert an enemy into a resource, you appear formidable. Sometimes an enemy possesses skills, connections, or information that would serve you far better than their destruction would. The wise man calculates the cost of continued warfare against the benefits of a strategic reconciliation. He chooses the path that increases his power, not the one that merely satisfies his pride. Never eliminate an enemy if you can use them instead. Absorb their strengths. Redirect their energy. Turn their intimate knowledge of your weaknesses into a loyalty that guards your blind spots. This requires profound emotional mastery. You must detach yourself from the primal satisfaction of revenge and learn to see people as instruments rather than as objects of personal feeling. The man who can use his enemies will never lack for tools. Transform opposition into opportunity. Turn threats into assets. This is power thinking at its coldest and most effective. 12th law. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. The weak beg, the powerful negotiate. This single distinction separates those who receive crumbs from those who claim a seat at the table. The 12th law eliminates all illusion. Appeal to self-interest, never to mercy or gratitude. When you ask the powerful for help based on your need, you insult them. You make the naive assumption that they care about your struggles. You expect them to sacrifice their own resources for your benefit out of the kindness of their hearts. This is a fantasy. The powerful did not ascend by giving freely to those who ask nicely. They measure every exchange, calculate every investment, and ask one silent question before every decision. What's in it for me? You must answer that question for them before they ever have to ask it. When you approach power, come armed with value. Show them exactly what they stand to gain. Demonstrate the return on their investment of time, attention, or resources. Make the transaction so clearly beneficial to them that refusing would be illogical. This is not cynicism, it is clarity. Human beings, at their core, operate on incentives. Even acts of generosity are often self-serving, designed to satisfy an ego or build a public reputation. When you internalize this, you stop wasting time on emotional appeals and start constructing irresistible propositions. Frame every request as an opportunity for them. Position every ask as a clear benefit they would be foolish to decline. Remove yourself from the center of the pitch and make it entirely about their gain, their advantage, their growth. The man who begs activates their contempt. The man who offers a valuable proposition activates their interest. These are two completely different postures of power. Never remind them of past favors you are owed. Never invoke their sympathy for your situation. Never assume a shared history entitles you to their assistance. Always and only present the clear, compelling advantage they will receive by helping you. Self-interest is the universal language of power. Speak it fluently or remain silent forever. 13th law, think as you like, but behave like others. The world punishes those who are visibly different. It crushes those who openly defy its norms. You may see through the illusions of society, you may recognize the games that others play blindly, and you may hold beliefs that would shock those around you. But the 13th law is your shield for the ascent. Think as you like, but behave like others. Your mind is your private kingdom. No one can enter it unless you grant them permission. In that sacred space, you are completely free. Question everything. Challenge every assumption. See the world with eyes unclouded by the comfortable lies society tells itself. However, your external behavior must be a calculated performance for survival and advancement. The truly powerful do not advertise their unconventional thinking. They blend seamlessly into the environments they wish to dominate. They dress appropriately, speak acceptably, nod at the right moments, and express the expected opinions in public settings. Behind closed doors, their true, cold calculations continue undisturbed. Do not mistake this for hypocrisy. It is the highest form of strategic intelligence. The nail that sticks out is the one that gets hammered down. The individual who publicly broadcasts their unconventional thoughts inevitably becomes a target. They attract unnecessary enemies and create friction that impedes their progress. They squander precious energy defending their positions when they could be advancing in silence. If this message has shifted something within you, confirm it. Drop a comment below with the words, "Power recognized." Let me know you have understood. Let me know you are prepared. And if you demand more content that equips you for the realities of influence and power, hit the like button now. Subscribe to this channel. Activate notifications so you never miss the next critical piece of your education. Your transformation has already begun. Now, go and become what they never saw coming. Untouchable. Do not mistake this for hypocrisy. It is a matter of superior intelligence. The nail that stands out is the first to be hammered down. The man who advertises his unconventional thoughts immediately becomes a target. He invites enemies he does not need and provokes a resistance that will only slow his ascent. He squanders precious energy defending his positions when he could be quietly advancing his agenda. Let the others engage in public debate and draw the enemy's fire. You are to move in silence. Your outward conformity is a calculated camouflage. Your apparent agreement is a strategic maneuver. Reserve your true thoughts for the precise moments when they can generate a decisive advantage, not pointless controversy. Master this powerful duality. Walk among them, appearing as one of them, while your mind operates on a completely different plane of strategy. This is the method for infiltrating circles that would instantly reject you if they glimpsed your true thoughts. This is how you secure the positions of influence where your unconventional thinking finally gains the leverage to reshape reality. You now possess the 13 laws. You have been given what most will never comprehend. The only question that remains is whether you possess the discipline to apply them. Knowledge without action is merely data. Wisdom without execution is just entertainment. You must take what you have learned and forge it into the very fabric of your daily practice. Study these laws until they become second nature. Review them until they govern your every interaction. The path to becoming untouchable is not conquered in a single day. It is constructed through a relentless commitment to these unwavering principles. If these words have sparked something within you, declare it in the comments below with the words, "Power recognized." Let me know you have understood. Let me know you are ready. And if you demand more content that fortifies you for the realities of influence and connection, hit the like button now. Subscribe to this channel and activate notifications so you never miss the critical intelligence that comes next. Your transformation has already begun. Now go and become what they never saw coming. Untouchable.